I call to order the March 23rd, 2022 City Council meeting. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Campbell. Present. Councilwoman Godaro. Councilwoman Wilson. Here. Councilwoman Julian. Here. Councilman Stevens. Here. Vice Mayor Leon.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gracious God, we thank you for your grace, your mercy towards us. We thank you for your many blessings, your unconditional love upon our lives. Father, we pray now that you continue to bless us here in the city of Miami Gardens, bless the residents, the leadership, and everyone that has a place in this city. Father, we pray that you continue to give us your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding in all things. We thank you for being gracious to us. All these things we ask in your Son's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, we're on approval of minutes.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Council, I'll be withdrawing the minutes from today's agenda.
All right, show them withdrawn. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be pulled or added to the consent agenda or any?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
On behalf of, just for the record, Councilwoman Godaro, I was just notified she will not be present at today's meeting. Should council want to entertain a motion to excuse her absence?
I make a motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any oppositions? Showing none. For the record, show that she's excused. All right. First, before we start again, let me say how great it is to see people again in the audience. Glad to have our residents back to provide input at the City Hall. So it's a pleasure to see you all, you guys. All right, we're on special presentations. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like the mayor said, we want to welcome everybody back to council meeting. Just a couple things. Make sure that you turn your phones on vibrate since we all haven't been back together in a while. Double check that. And today I'm going to be presenting to this wonderful organization. It happens to be March, which is Women's History Month. And this particular organization, the Democratic Women of Miami Gardens, has made their own history by celebrating 10 years of service this year. So let's give them a hand. So I have a special plaque that we're going to present to the Democratic Women's Association of Miami Gardens. So with the council and the Democratic Women's Association of Miami Gardens, please join me down in the front. Democrat Women's Club of Miami Gardens, we want to honor you your 10 years of service and your dedication and commitment to hard work for the community of Miami Gardens. So again, congratulations on 10 years. And since it is Women's History Month, we will also recognize young and youth voters.
Thank y'all so much.
Got it? Hold on, you missing a picture.
Ms. Rice? Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents. My name is Janice Coakley, and I'm the president of this great club that's been here for 10 years in Miami Gardens. We are not just a Democratic club. We make sure to do things out in the community, community service, and women's events and health and different things in the community. But I would like to say thank you to the Vice Mayor for attending our event and honoring the club. We definitely appreciate it. And Ms. Pat Wright, I will let her speak. She is the Vice President of the club. We don't do it, we all the members, we all take a part in this. It's not just one person. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and I thank you so much, Vice Mayor Leon. We are in this community, and I just think people have not noticed us being here, but it doesn't make us not work. And we do the work. It's all the time with wraparound services for families, homelessness. We are into the elections. We're looking for membership. We do canvassing to the community. We teach our residents on how to vote and what to look for. And so we've done well. We just need to grow the club, let the city knows what we can do to help them. We do the foster children's piece. We also do wraparound services. So if there's anything we can do to help you all do what you do not hesitate to call on us. Thank you so much.
So we have one more presentation. Mr. Manager, can you join me up here? On behalf of the handsome men of Miami Gardens, we would like to continue to celebrate Women's History Month by recognizing Councilwoman Shannon Campbell, please come down. Councilwoman Katrina Wilson, Councilwoman Linda Julian, City Attorney Sonia Assistant City Manager Bernita Nelson, Assistant to the City Manager Tamara Watley, also Tracy Hand, Assistant to the City Manager, Assistant to our Deputy Clerk, Lashara Bostic, our Chief of Police, Deborah Platt, Assistant Chief of Police, Pastor. Assistant City Attorney, Nicole Scott, and Assistant City Attorney Janelle Murphy. Please join us up here. Now, this is just a small token. Tomorrow, for the rest of our staff, there'll be a presentation from 12 to 2. You'll get the email after this meeting for the rest of our staff. This is just a small token right now.
Oh, I paid cake for y'all too.
And after the council meeting, we have cake in the back for the other ladies here in the audience. You guys proceed to the community room after the council meeting for you guys to have cake. Thank you.
And again, right after this meeting, there are refreshments in the back for everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, we just wanted to take an opportunity to let the ladies, not only of this community, but the ladies that work with us on a daily basis, know how much we appreciate them. And again, the men here on this day is think women are God's gift to men. So we appreciate all that you guys do. All right, we're on public comments now, Mr. Clerk. I have several comment cards. So we'll start with Tanya Andre. Tanya Andre.
Good evening.
Good evening. Ms. Andre, please state your address for the record, please.
1418 Northwest 208 Street, Miami Gardens.
Is that microphone on? I can't hear you.
1418 Northwest 208 Street, Miami Gardens.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I am just grateful to be here, and this is my first time.
Welcome.
So,
Welcome.
I am new to the city of Miami Gardens. Well, a year new, but I am not. I'm a new resident, but I'm not new to the city of Miami Gardens. I've been serving the city of Miami Gardens actually for 10 years through my nonprofit, but I am here more on a personal basis. Me and my husband were very excited to move into the city of Miami Gardens. My husband was born and raised in the city of Miami Gardens, well, raised since he was a little boy in the city of Miami Gardens. We pay our business taxes in the city of Miami Gardens. We pay our home taxes in the city of Miami Gardens, and we pay our tithes in the city of Miami Gardens. So we are invested. And I want to talk on the basis of the speeding issue, which I am glad to see prior to this that some things are being done, but I had some questions. The first question was, how much has been budgeted for the year for these speeding calming devices? How much do those calming devices cost? How much does a speeding bump cost, and how much does a roundabout cost? And according to the budget, what can practically be done in a year? Like how many speeding bumps, how many roundabout bumps? And that is a concern because in my neighborhood, my first experience moving into Miami Gardens wasn't that great.
Go ahead.
Okay, so basically I saw a car in the first month of moving into our home flip over and literally explode in front of our house. And one of the townhouses that was being built caught on fire. So this is a great concern to us now that the community is fully built and we have children, our children, running up and down the streets, having fun like they should in their neighborhood. So those are just some of the concerns that I'm raising regarding the speeding issues. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Rhea Hughes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Rhea Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. I come before you again this evening, asking and requesting of you to revisit your high-end events on the budget and ask yourself, other than planning events, how can I, as a council representative, be more effective in utilizing taxpayers' monies as I was elected to do? Well, with that being said, here are a few previously requested items by constituents and taxpayers, such as the hiring of additional code enforcement officers to maintain and keep our city clean, the purchasing of a digital signage display board on the 27th Avenue corridor, and a one-time only mail-out contact information pamphlet to all residents in the city. For all these requests, they will benefit our city as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Audrey Ward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Do I need to say my address?
Yes, please.
3351 Northwest 189th Street. This is the story of 189th Street, which is where I live. Vehicles racing down the street, avoiding school zone, 2 church feeding programs twice monthly with traffic wrapped around the block. Villagers of Miami Gardens parking on a swell, 18-wheelers blocking the entrance where cars coming down cannot adequately see. 3 churches on the street, with one having 2 services on Sunday and one having service on Saturday. 3 schools on the street, 4 area schools, Brentwood, Carroll City Middle, Carroll City Senior, Barbara Hawkins, 32nd Avenue rush hour traffic speeding down the street, trolley cars speeding down the street, stadium traffic when there are events, and besides the regular county services that render facilities on the street. This is the story of 189th Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ward. Gail Cunningham.
Good evening. Gail Cunningham, 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. I'd just like to say thank you to each and every one of you that respond to my numerous emails, and some of you to my phone calls and my texts. And I just ask that you continue to communicate with us. You sit here and you are the ones that represent us, and we want to be proud to say that our representatives are there. They listen, they hear, and they respond. And what we hear from you and the actions that we see that you do makes a difference in our hearts and what we believe in our city of Miami Gardens. And as it was said before, the monies that our taxpayers are paying in, the monies that make a difference in the decisions that you make, and we know that you have to spread them out many different ways. And I know that you're looking at the legislature of what's being handed down to you and changing legislature and so forth. But we want to make sure that we keep our eyes focused on what the needs of the city is, because we are a progressive city. So when you're doing things that, I know there has to be a balance of having good times, presenting good things, but some of those gut things that the community wants to know and find a difference being done, we want you to continue to recognize that and hear us, see us, listen, and act. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cunningham. Claudia Isom.
Good evening. My name is Claudia Von Isom, address 2483 Northwest 179th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. Okay, I'm really concerned about the vehicles that speeding down 179th Street, not one day, every day, and the kids is out there playing. So I wanted to know, when will we be able to get the speed bumper? That'll be a good thing for the, for the cars to stop. They just speed all day during the night. And I'm just concerned about that because the kids are out there playing. And that's what I'm concerned about. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Isom. Janice Coakley.
Good evening again, Janice Coakley, 19681 Northwest 33rd Avenue. And I guess everyone is speaking about the same thing with the speeding. Mayor, I met with you some time ago, reference about a circle there. I know you say it has to go through the county, but they are constantly using that 190, that main road and on 33rd Avenue to speed up and down. And the next day I came home, I was supposed to take a picture. They knocked down the, I don't know, must be 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess these people don't sleep. Knocked down the people mailbox, smashed up the people gate. These are homeowners. They might not have homeowners insurance. So they just took out the police came, I think my husband said, and took a picture. I don't know what could be done about it. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock during the daytime, and them big old 3 things just going down right in front of the house where I live. Hopefully something could be done about this, because I know the police can't catch them, because by the time they come, they'll be gone. But it's also shooting over there. And they know the house where you usually have all that going down the street. It's been a little quiet now, but we need to have the police officer to patrol the area. Just patrol the area, but they're not gonna stop with those spikes. So somebody is seriously gonna get hurt. And I know they're supposed to have this thing in May, whatever that is, that race thing. I hope something going out to the residents in the community, advising them how they are going to have to go the other way like me, who come down 199. So some type of information to go out to the residents, what they could do for health issues, because my daughter does have a godchild that lives on the other side of that turnpike that is fighting cancer. So please see what you could do for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Coakley. Lola Evans.
Good evening, Lola Evans, 19440 Northwest 7th Avenue. I wanted to talk tonight about the Beautify Miami Gardens project. I wanted to know why was a notification sent out to the residents about this project going on, a mass mailing at the end of last year. The only way we found out is because we get notices from code enforcement. I wanted to take advantage of the pressure washer. I left numerous messages. I have not received a call back to this day regarding the program for pressure washer. So I reached out to my representative, Reggie Leon, sent him an email. He did reply, asked me for my phone number. I'm waiting for a return call from Mr. Leon as well. I think that this project is hurting the residents and homeowners at Miami Gardens. If you want to beautify Miami Gardens, you should have let the residents and homeowners know what is the plans for this project. If you had sent out notification, we would have been aware of what was going on and what we needed to do in order to meet the compliance. Instead of giving 30 days for some people who may not be working, you're getting notifications about you're painting your house, your grass. This is not fair to us as citizens of Miami Gardens. I just want for us to be treated fairly, for us to be knowing what's going on. I checked the website about any programs or anything for the citizens. I don't find anything on the website. If it's there, I'd like for somebody to tell me, direct me where to go. I just want some assistance as a resident and a taxpayer in Miami Gardens. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Evans. Any other public comments?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I do have one written communication.
Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
All right, this is from Chris Malcolm, address 18910 Northwest 31st Avenue, Miami Gardens, Florida. Good evening. Last week, Norwood Norland Crime Prevention Group invited the City of Miami Beach Water Department representatives to its meeting. During the meeting, many residents noted their streets have been flooded with water for the past 3 months. This is not something that occurred one time. Water is let out of the Norland water plant sometimes twice a day as they are testing, thus preventing residents from leaving or entering their residence. It was confirmed by the plant manager, Carlos Carazana. How many of you on the dais were aware of this? How is this environmental safely for our community? A town hall meeting needs to take place with North Miami Beach and Miami Gardens to discuss the issues that plague residents when it comes to North Miami Beach, because as you can see, it's not just a surcharge issue. And that's his public comment. That's the only one we have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Any other public comments? Showing that there's no more public comments are closed. We're on ordinances for the first reading.
Ordinance is on for first reading. Item 8.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section of 2-49 of the Code of Ordinances relating to the regular meeting of the City Council, provide for adopted representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, provide severability clause, provide for including in the code, provide for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon.
Vice Mayor?
Yes, this ordinance is to look at in case we have an emergency. You see, we went through COVID. So we're able to, during this ordinance, we're able to move and be able to schedule meetings by resolution as opposed to waiting on the charter. So in case of an emergency, we need to meet, we can actually use this. And we also look at to amend the time. A lot of the residents were complaining about a lot of seniors wanted to attend the meeting, and they felt that 7 was too late for them to actually come out when it got a little dark. So we're looking at probably like around 5:30 to 6 o'clock. We'll figure that part out. But this item gives us flexibility to be able to make those decisions as a council. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Need a motion on this item to discuss.
Motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion from the dais on this? Showing none.
Councilwoman Campbell? Yes. Councilwoman Wilson? Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leon?
Yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Item 8.2, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 6, Businesses, Article 5, Sale of Merchandise, Section 6-195, Selling, Serving, Vending, Soliciting in Public Right-of-Ways, generally of the Code of Ordinances to regulate the sale or distribution of merchandise, goods, or wares on city streets and sidewalks by vendors, peddlers, and street ticket sellers in the clean zone during clean zone period for the annual Formula One Miami Grand Prix and related activities, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for including in the code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, this ordinance is before you to ensure that when larger scale events that happen at the Hard Rock Stadium, those events are done in a manner where the merchandising and goods or services are sold on site. This eliminates the peddling issues that may happen outside that clean zone. And based on that, we recommend that moving forward for the Formula One event. Thank you.
Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Through the mayor to the manager, I have a question, Mr. Manager. What's the perimeters for this ordinance? Is it the entire city, or is it just a particular area?
It is the site where the Hard Rock Stadium is, along 199th to the Turnpike and down 27th Avenue.
And that also includes the grounds of the stadium?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have no further questions.
Mr. Clerk?
Vice Mayor Leon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson? Yes. Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, we're
There are
on
no
ordinance with second reading.
No, sir. No ordinance, no resolutions, public hearing. We're now on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Clerk?
Item 11.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, to launch the City of Miami Gardens Springtime Citizens Academy, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris. Item 11.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds for Vice Mayor Reggie Leon's public affairs account in an amount of $1,000 to support the Andover Middle School end of the year dinner dance, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon. Item 11.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, allocating funds for Vice Mayor Leon's public affairs account in an amount of $1,500 to Winston's World Entertainment LLC for sponsorship of the karaoke in the gardens, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Reggie Leon. Item 11.4, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, recognizing the month of March as National Kidney Month in the City of Miami Gardens, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Shannon Engadaro. Item 11.5, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing City Manager, City Clerk to execute and attest respectively that certain agreement for the acceptance of the 2022 Green Miami-Dade County matching grant with Miami-Dade County, and to take any and all steps necessary to accept grant funds in the amount of $18,612 to support the city's Commute a Tree program, a copy of which is attached here to as Exhibit A, authorizing matching funds in an amount of $18,612, providing for instructions to the city clerk, providing for an adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.6, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizes the city manager to execute that certain interlocal agreement with Miami-Dade County, a copy of which is attached here to as Exhibit A, to assume certain traffic control and engineering services to include the installation and maintenance of traffic calming devices pertaining to its local municipal streets, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager. Item 11.7, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizes the city manager to accept the request from ENO LLC terminating the design build agreement for improvements at Bennett Lifter Park, authorizes the city manager to negotiate and execute contract with Gulf Buildings LLC, the second rate proposal for improvements at Bennett Lifter Park, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager, and that is your consent agenda.
Need a motion on the
Motion.
consent? Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any oppositions? Showing none, show the consent agenda pass.
All right, we're now on to quasi-judicial zoning hearing and general disclosures.
Good evening and welcome to the quasi-judicial portion of the March 23rd, 2022 City Council meeting. For those persons that will or may be speaking on an item on the agenda or commenting on any item, please stand up and be sworn in by the city clerk. For the applicants, your item will be called to order by agenda number and the title of your request. When your item is called, please approach the microphone, and when addressed, please speak directly and clearly, stating your name and address for the record, and explain the reason for your request. Note that all exhibits presented to the mayor and the council will become part of the public record.
All right, those speaking on any quasi-judicial item, please raise your right hand so you be sworn in. Stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony provided this evening is true and correct to the best of your knowledge? I do. All right, thank you. All right, item 13.2, ordinances on for second reading and public hearing. Item 13.2.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Article 2, Section 34-53, commencement of development. Article 9, Section 34-287, use of regulations generally. Article 9, Section 34-288, use of permitted extra requirements. Article 11, Section 34-342, tables for the development standards. Article 14, Section 34-444, landscape buffering minimum standards. And Article 19, Section 34-733, master use list and use definitions as outlined on Exhibit A attached to, provided for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by the city manager, and this is a second hearing, a public hearing.
Public comments on this item is open. Public comment on this item is open. Any written correspondence?
No written correspondence on this item, sir.
All right, show public comment is closed. Need a motion on this item.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Manager, you want to give a presentation on it?
Mr. Mayor, I don't have any comments. I would turn to Nikisha Kelly if she has any comment.
There's no changes on this item. This is a text amendment for special exception uses within our code, and it remains the same from the first reading.
Mr. Clerk?
Councilwoman Wilson? Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Councilman Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Campbell?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Leon,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. All right, we're now on to reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, I have just a few things I want to go over with council members. First of all, I'd like to introduce our new accreditation manager in the police department, Ms. Whitney Harris. She comes to us from BSO. Welcome to the city of Miami Gardens.
Miss Harris? It was
Whitney Harris.
Yes, Harris? Hey, not my cousin, guys. Not my cousin.
Secondly, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, I want to let you know that last Wednesday, staff and the emergency team spent all day Wednesday in emergency management training. Obviously, we're getting ready for the upcoming hurricane season, the real hurricane season. And then also, we were also there to talk about Formula One and potential things that could go awry in getting trained on that. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that everyone that is part of the emergency management training and a part of the emergency management team were part of that training. Additionally, Mayor and council members, I'd like to bring to your attention, as you are aware, the chief started what we call the Miami Gardens Police Academy Fast Track Sponsorship Program that allows us to look at potential cadets that may want to be a part of the City of Miami Gardens Police Department. The chief mentioned at one meeting that we had hired 3. Those 3 will be starting next week, and there's a 4th that will be graduating next week in West Palm Beach, and then that person will start sometime in late April. Additionally to that program, we have now patched approximately 15 cadets that are going through the program, going through cadet training, but they've been patched to be City of Miami Gardens police officers in the future. So that's about approximately 15 candidates. Additionally to that, we have approximately 20 interviews upcoming with non-certified candidates for the City of Miami Gardens. So we're moving along pretty good with our overall hiring of police officers and then overall in our program for the police department. And last, and certainly not least, if we can all just put our hands together for the outstanding job that Vernita Nelson, Assistant City Manager, did with Jazz and Gardens, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Vernita, for everything. You did an outstanding job. It was one of the best, I believe. Even with the changes we had to do, I think you pulled it off, and I appreciate everything you did regarding Jazz and Gardens, the 15th year that we celebrated. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
And I think Vernita need a real round of applause. We definitely appreciate you, V.
That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Right. Madam Attorney?
I don't have a report.
Still in litigation?
We're always in litigation. And you will get your quarterly report on April 1st.
Mr. Clerk?
No report.
Mr. Stevens?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
2 minutes. Go ahead.
Try my best. I just want to echo what our manager mentioned to Ms. Nelson and the entire team that worked diligently to execute the 15th annual Jazz in the Gardens. You all did a fantastic job. We experienced a few roadblocks, but the way we've overcome and we handled those issues, I'm greatly appreciative of it. So I thank you for you and your entire team for working to execute that and make it a seamless experience for our residents and guests of the City of Miami Gardens. And I also want to acknowledge the outstanding work that Councilwoman Wilson's office is doing with the every third Saturday marketplace displaying local businesses here in the City of Miami Gardens at the Rolling Oaks Park. You all are doing a fantastic job. And when I get an opportunity to visit the vendors and hear their stories, and to hear that these are local businesses here in the City of Miami Gardens, and we're providing them with an opportunity to display their products, it does my heart well. So thank you to you and your office for spearheading that and leading the effort in the hot sun. Just by way of announcements, I want to announce that our higher education scholarship is still out there. So if you know any high school seniors that are graduating this year, please encourage them to apply for the scholarship. These are dollars that's made available to our residents so that we can ensure that one have an opportunity to advance their studies. The deadline to apply for this scholarship is April 14th. All of the information is found on our city's webpage as well as our social media pages. And I believe out on the information table in the lobby, you can pick up a flyer. So if you know anyone, please encourage them to apply for this scholarship. And we look forward to awarding the scholarship, my colleagues and I, in the month of May. In addition to that, my office is spearheading yet another STEM Saturday. And the theme is "The Future is Now, Green Energy." This STEM Saturday would be held on April 16th at 10 a.m. On the campus of St. Thomas University. Our young people from the ages, elementary, middle, and high. The exact date is on the flyer, but I encourage everyone to share that information. It's free, no cost for our residents, our young people to go and experience this hands-on science experience. With that, that ends my report. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Julie.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a delight to see all of your faces this evening, and it's such a great and warm feeling to be back in person. I just want to say thank you to everyone who helped out and helped me put together the Lunch and Learn today on estate planning. We had a great turnout, and the next one is going to take place on July the 20th. For those who were unable to attend the estate planning Lunch and Learn because they work, on July 20th, we are going to have a dinner and learn. So you can come after work and come and get some really good information. And if you'd like to get more details about it, you can just visit our city's web portal. And that's all for my report, Mr. Mayor.
What time again would that
It's
be?
July 20th at 5:30, and it's going to be a dinner and learn for those who
Councilwoman,
work during the day.
My birthday is July 27th.
But this is July 20th, 7
For the
days
record.
prior to your birthday.
Yeah, I know, just for the record.
Okay, duly noted, Councilman, duly noted.
And my birthday is July 21st.
I'm feeling some kind of pressure here.
We just gave y'all roses and cakes.
Oh.
Councilwoman Campbell.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see everyone out and about, still maintaining our safety. I definitely want to echo what my colleague Robert Stevens has just stated as it relates to Vernita Nelson. She did a phenomenal job, and we owe a lifetime of gratitude to her for her efforts. And I'm just appreciative of what she's done and what she brings to the table. Also, MGPD, you guys, you kept us safe. Not only us, our residents, and you also kept our artists that were here. MGPD, kudos to you guys. I just like the way you guys were moving out and about. My dad was able to come out and enjoy it, and he had his little 2 cents to put in. So it was all good stuff, though. So you guys continue what you're doing and continue to keep us safe. I have a couple of announcements. I have upcoming soup, smoothie, and salad. For those of you who missed the first one, the next one will be April 9th at 3 o'clock at Twisted Smoothie. The flyers are out in the lobby area. Pick up one. Come on out. It's on me. If you are a Miami Gardens resident with ID, and you must show that ID, and it's while supplies last. Come on and get your soup, your smoothie, and a salad. And also, I have a bingo that I do for our seniors at Buccaneer Park. The next one is April 12th. You can also pick up the flyer out front in the lobby, and it'll be hosted at 6:30 p.m. at Buccaneer Park. Looking forward to seeing you guys come on out and have a good time and continue. Let's stay safe. And always remember, it's about positive forward progress. And that is my report.
Councilwoman Wilson.
I too feel exactly the same way, and I think that Jazz in the Gardens was a great opening for us to be full-time.
I'm sorry.
And I made that announcement, right?
So I had a wonderful time, and I just want to say again to my colleagues, thank you for the biggest and best surprise that I have had in my adult life with your birthday wishes. It meant a lot to me, and there are a lot of things that don't make me cry. Children always bring tears to my eyes. My mom does, but you guys did as well. So I want to thank you. I was totally caught off guard, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. So thank you so much from my heart to yours. I have a couple of announcements. I'm going to try to be brief, but they have to be said. One is on Saturday, we're going to be having a workshop on how to make money flipping houses and building wealth through real estate. And if you would like to attend, we'd love to have you. If you know some younger people that would like to find out how to buy houses, how to use it to make money, or even just are interested in the real estate industry, it is a very lucrative industry, and we have so many of our youngsters that have an entrepreneurial spirit. And so one of the things that I like to do is to provide opportunities for them to begin to explore areas that they might be interested in. So it is a class of sorts that will last from 9 until 3. That will start from 10 until 3. We will be there as early as 9 to begin the registration process. Many of you have already enrolled online. We have pretty close to 600 people already that have enrolled, but I really would like to make sure that the youth of our community and anybody that's interested is there. We have one Miami Gardens resident who has grown up here, who's hugely successful. Her name is Tanya Andre Smith, along with Mr. Mark Witten, who is a national teacher in this area. So I would love for all of you to come. It's at no charge. They're going to be awarding $2,000 an hour as a part of this whole teaching endeavor. It's going to be at Miami Carroll City Senior High School, and we hope to have a very, very informative workshop class for our residents and the community at large. For April, at the marketplace, and thank you all for your support. Many of the residents have come out and not only shopped and spent money with our residents who are out there as vendors, but have stayed and really enjoyed and spent time at the marketplace. This month, in the month of April, we will be having a special focus, which will be called spring cleaning. And if you have something that you would like to bring from your garage, this is not a flea market, but we note that around the county, there were certain times of the year where cities offer their residents an opportunity to take things out of their garage, things that they would like to sell, and offer it up for whatever cost that they would like to do that. So for the month of April and for the month of April only, we will set aside special area for you to be able to come at no charge. There will be a limited amount. If you would like to be able to do that, just call our office, ask for Jamal, and we will make way for you while those spaces are available. Again, it's the third Saturday of the month. You will be there along with our regular vendors who will also be there. Again, we'd like for you to start, so I know that some people have things that they'd like to get rid of, but they just don't want to throw it away. They'd like to offer it at a nominal cost or something like that, okay? We have food trucks, we have vendors, we have community people, all of whom appreciate your patronage. So I want to say thank you publicly to all of the residents who've been there to support the other residents, okay? And then finally, we are this Sunday taking 100 plus seniors to see Donnie McClurkin at the Adrian Art Center. We are providing transportation. We'll be lining up from the senior center. We may have a couple of tickets left. If you were unable to get registered, you may call our office. And if there is some availability, we will provide you with those seats. It is at no cost. The transportation is at no cost. We will be leaving. I think we get there around about 4. We need to be leaving at 5. And we have arranged special entrance so that our residents don't have to stand in a long line. And so I would love for all of you, if you're able to, if you can accommodate, to come. And then finally, the last thing, I want to say to this council, thank you again for your support of us writing the history of this city. And I know that there were a lot of stories that people have about founding of this city and what got us to this place. And we'd like to hear them so that they can become a part of the document that will chronicle the history of the formation of one of the greatest cities in South Florida. And so if you have a story that you'd like to tell, a perspective that you would like to give, a note of fact that you think that needs to be included, please call our office so that we can make sure that we put you and connect you with the individual who will be writing and chronicling the information. That's all, and thank you all.
Vice Mayor.
Good evening again, everyone. Again, with us celebrating Women's History Month, we have light refreshments for everyone following this meeting right behind this room. And we also we'll be doing something special for our employees tomorrow, starting at 12 to 2. I just want to thank again, like it's been reiterated with Vernita Nelson, the Chief of Police, and our command staff and our police officers that did an excellent job this week, last weekend with Jazz in the Gardens. I got some phone calls. People are always watching, and we got to continue to tell our own story on how we moved 50,000 people throughout our city without any incidents. And other cities are looking, and they want to be able to duplicate what we're doing, and they ask, how did this happen, when they have things going on in their city. So that's kudos to all of us as residents and visitors. And again, we have to continue to tell our own story because nobody will share that for us. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Ms. Nelson, your accolades have been given to you tonight. You got your flowers, got your rewards. They're just due, definitely. We'll get started on Jazz in the Gardens tomorrow for next year. We passed an agenda item tonight, 11.6, that allow for an interlocal agreement with the county in reference to traffic calming devices. That was long overdue, and now we will have some type of control over how we place those common devices in our city. There's still conversations that need to be had, and we will have those conversations. There's still some things that we need to come up with, some ideas that we need to come up with, and we're going to look to our residents as well as this council and our administrative staff to come up with some solutions to speeding, not just here in Miami Gardens, but hopefully we can be the program or the city that stands out as someone who took charge, or a city that took charge of an issue that we've been having in our city. I'm glad all of you guys are here tonight because Citizens Academy is starting back up in April. So those of you who are interested in joining the Citizens Academy, please go on our website and sign up. The Citizens Academy will give you some great information about how the city is run. Let me see, there's something else I wanted to talk about. Also, our committees. We still have openings on committees. So if there's any individuals out there that would love to be a part of the committees, We want you guys to contact our offices and get your names on those lists so we can go ahead and get those committees started, especially now that we're starting to open up again. We want to go ahead and get our committees up and running so they can be productive parts of this community. That being said, I really don't have anything else. So I need a motion to adjourn this meeting. It's been moved and seconded. Go get cake, everybody, because we got cake in there. Meeting adjourned.